Anyway, why don't we get started, meanwhile, with Legacy of the Wizard. But you two take it away.
Good morning, everybody. Well, it's morning at least where I am. I don't know where the rest of you are, but it is morning here. I am Mr. Starbird, and on the couch, or I think it's a couch anyway, we got someone who is not Alf and will probably say more than 10 things. So this is Dragon Dark.
I am not Alf. Not today, anyway.
Not today, anyway. And I'm going to be running this game a lot slower than he does. So this category is what's known as the no pause jump category. There's a glitch in the game normally that any speedrunner will do called the pause jump, which will basically allow you to get as much height as you want. We're not doing that because reasons. I hate myself at times, so that's the reason. No, I don't hate myself. I actually enjoy the no pause jump route. It actually allows me to use every character in the game. And, excuse me, I got a bit of a cold I'm fighting, but anyways, I am set whenever, so if we're ready, I'm gonna give us a countdown. Oh wait, I got control of everything here. Why don't I just count down myself? 3, 2, 1. Yeah, just so I'm gonna talk to the old man here, and I'm gonna input the password incorrectly. What this does is reset the RNG to a neutral state, so it'll allow me to get a scroll manipulation going. And Dragon Dark, if you want to explain that scroll manipulation while I'm doing this, trying to anyway, I will probably fail, but
yeah. So this game, the RNG moves. Generally, anytime an enemy like moves or something, anytime it's called, it moves. Some areas it moves so fast that it's like almost that's nearly frame perfect. And we found that there are ways to manipulate it if you can play very, very consistently. The manipulation he's trying to do right now is not one that you normally do with this character. You normally do it with Lil, who has a very high jump, and for any percent we use her for like 3 areas. But for this category, he's using the father because he can't pause jump, and the father's area is technically possible without it, but it would take a lot of effort, and it hasn't been routed out. So he's going to be using this to go. He's going to be using all the characters to go through their normal areas, but this manipulation is a lot more difficult with this character because his attack power is higher, and he can only have 1 shot on screen. But what he was doing was basically killing enemies at very specific points in their movements, and because he reset the RNG by entering and leaving the password screen, it allowed him to force a fixed state coming out of the house, which allowed him to get the RNG he wanted to get those first 2 scrolls. It is realistically possible to manipulate it even farther than that. It just gets, the farther into the dungeon you get, the more difficult it gets, and the harder it is to hold on to it, because you have to basically be perfect on your movement to maintain it.
yeah, and at this point, I only have it down so I can get basically 2 taquitos. Normally, a Dragon Dark would be pretty much all the way to the first level at this point in a pause jump route, but basically I'm now actually killing things to hope for a random taquito drop, and if I do see a taquito or scrolls, but we call them taquitos because that's what they look like, you go back for it. So other than that, it's this route is quite a bit different, again, because we're not going to be using pause jump. So I have to actually grab the power glove. It is so bad, I will tell you that, and other people call it the Mickey Mouse glove. But it's
It's an interesting item. The father's area is by far, if you're playing casually, the father's area is by far the hardest to get through. Because the glove mechanics aren't I can't call them good. I can't call them bad either, but I certainly can't call them good, and they're not very intuitive either.
Yeah, they are jank in some aspects of the game, and thankfully we're going to be getting his out of the way first. And the reason we're doing his level first is because it will allow us to get Lil's pickaxe, which will save us a good chunk of money that way. And I'm actually going to use the inn here because when I grab the gold first thing, because I'm actually going to get the key stick first as far as my shopping. I'm only going to shop for 2 items, the spring shoes and... What am I shopping for? It's too early for me. That's for sure. There's my random taquito. I probably should be grabbing as much money as I can too, but I am taking taquito. So basically what I'm going to do is hopefully not take too much damage. But I'm going to lure these guys over here, and I hate doing this, but this is the only way I'm going to get the key stick early. Come on, get up here, thank you.
Yeah, thankfully in this game, you can ride enemies as platforms, basically. You take a little bit of damage while doing it, but most areas it's not that big of a deal. A lot of enemies only do like a couple points of damage, so it doesn't take, it's not like super damaging or anything.
Shoot, I ran out of scroll speed before I could grab that chest scroll.
That sucks.
It does.
Yeah, so chest scrolls differ from normal scrolls in that their duration is double compared to normal. Normal ones last for 30 seconds, chest scrolls last for 60. In addition, chest scrolls are the only way you can get the maximum scroll speed, which is scroll speed 5. You can normally only get 4 from scroll drops, but the chest scroll allows you to go 1 past that, and I can tell you from personal experience that scroll speed 5 is nearly uncontrollable. To give you an idea, scrolls, when you first...
Lucky scroll.
Oh, wow. Scrolls, the first scroll you pick up increases your movement speed. It doubles your movement speed. You go from 1 pixel per frame to 2 pixels per frame. The second scroll brings it up to 3 pixels per frame. The third one brings it up to 4. But if you get the max scroll speed by picking up a chest scroll, you actually go up to 6 pixels per frame. Which, to give you an idea,
that again?
You move 1 1/3 screens.
I really messed that one up. This is what happens when I get too much scroll speed.
Yeah, that's another danger of having too many scrolls. It actually makes some of these block puzzles very, very difficult to do.
Yeah,
you'll accidentally touch blocks you didn't mean to.
And I used the second block clip there. If you actually have scroll speed and you had the power glove, you can actually clip through blocks, which is what I attempted to do there. You saw that the first time. I used it the second time, but it kind of pushed me into a block I didn't want to do. I hate that, but it is a kind of... using the block clip in the first part is actually really nice to do, because that opening block puzzle is quite a challenge normally.
Yeah, that probably saves at least a good 15 to 20 seconds by skipping that first one.
Yes, and I tried to do it the second time around, but I ended up going too far, pushing that other block out of the way, and messed up quite a bit. So, thankfully... Okay, I'm low on life, so I'm going to take this bread here. Butt bread.
Butt bread is best bread?
That is best bread.
I mean, can you even really skip this one, though? Because the way you have to push the blocks?
No. You can't skip that bread, and it's the only bread you really can't skip. Yep, there's another one right before the block tower room where it is possible to do, but sometimes I end up accidentally grabbing it anyway.
Oh yeah, that one. That one's kind of a pain for the father because he can't jump very high to get over it.
No. And...
that is actually a stat in this game, too. Jump, or rather jump height, is a legitimate stat, and each character...
Oh, go ahead.
Each character has a specific jump height. The father and Pochi, the dog, have the lowest. Mena and Roas have like a medium jump height, and then Lil, who is like the all-star of the Any Percent run, has the highest jump by quite a big margin. Like Zem and Pochi, I don't think can even get 3 blocks up. They come just short, and then Roas and Mena can get about 3 blocks, but Lil can get 4, almost 5 on her own.
Ah, shoot. Well, I fudged that one up. Luckily, a lot of these puzzles do have reset ladders, and this is actually probably the most difficult part of Zem's area right here, in my opinion, is this, and I'm going to play it safe.
Yeah, this puzzle is awful.
Well, I at least pushed that block up to where I wanted it. Get that one out of the way. Yeah, this is...
This one is really hard.
To do fast, anyway, yes. But,
it doesn't help. Like we mentioned earlier, the controls for the glove are not very good. And they're not very intuitive either, so it's really easy to mess things up like this.
Yeah, because you literally have to hold your jump button as you're landing in order to push something.
And it reacts. Basically, it reacts.
No.
The last direction you pressed on the control pad when you touch the block is what direction the block's gonna go.
Yeah, and I'm running low on magic, so I'm probably not gonna get too many more random scroll drops, but we will at least get this chest scroll.
The worst placed chest scroll too.
Yep, because this is like the one place where scroll speed's not going to help you that much. It'll help it if you have Lil, but not so much with them.
It doesn't help that much with Lil either, to be honest. Because you get stuck pushing. You have to push all these blocks, and there are 13 columns of these things. So even regardless of which character you're using, it's going to take a while to go past this section. Lil breaks the blocks, whereas Zem pushes them, and Mena has a way of like flinging the blocks. But for Mena, you have to wait for the block to stop moving. And to give you an idea, if you brought Mena to this section instead, you lose 2 minutes waiting for the block to stop.
Although it does make that block bridge room very easy.
Well, yeah, because Mena has wings and can fly.
Yeah, but by the time you get the wings, you might as well have just gone through this area anyway, because you kind of need the pickaxe to get the wings. So, come on, get over there.
Well, you can actually buy wings in the Mother's area in a spot that you can get to without wings.
Yeah, but you also get the nice cross. You also get the crossbow in Zem's area, which, I mean, you could do a little bit. It's just slower, overall.
Yeah.
That's why I do this area first, because you can use the money to get the key stick. You can get the pickaxe, which is to buy it. It basically takes you a full stack of gold. So yeah, block them off. Oh yeah, this music's awesome.
This game was made by Nihon Falcom, who are probably more well known for the East series. But yeah, Falcom always has like top tier music, regardless of what game you're playing.
Yeah, this is also Yuzo Koshiro, so he did East 1, he did Streets of Rage, and he also did the menu screen for the new Genesis Mini, so... And this was one of his first pieces of work. But I am low on magic. Technically, if I got like 30 magic, I consider myself safe for this, and I don't need to use another because I can just grab... But I can also do this and mess up like that. Either way, I think I got enough magic to do me as long as I don't waste too much. And that's poison. It's not magic. Hey! Stop. Okay, I'm in rough shape right now. I really got to be careful because the guys here are going to hit a little harder.
Yeah, a few of the enemies here hit really hard. Most of them hit like medium strength. But running out of magic is actually really bad in this game because you can't attack. Like you cannot attack any longer if you have no magic, and you can't kill anything to get more magic drops or life drops or anything else. So, I guess I can talk about drops next and how those actually.
Yes, go right ahead.
So the game has like a priority system, so to speak. And it looks at how much life, how much magic, and how many keys you have. The highest priority item, I can't remember if keys actually are the highest or not, but I know if you have less than 2 keys, the game will always try to give you a key. If you have less than 30 magic, it's going to try and give you magic, and if you have less than 20 life, it tries to give you life. I forget the exact priority on which overrules the other ones. But the game does try and give you those drops depending on what you actually need. Now, if you have over 20 life, over 30 magic, and more than 2 keys, then you can get gold drops instead. You won't ever get magic or life or anything like that, provided that those numbers are higher. Where did that enemy go?
I don't know, but I fudged that up by hitting. This is the finicky mechanic of the glove, is that the last input I had hit before I jumped was down, so it pushed the block down, and I can't get there, so I gotta go around again.
Yeah, this is the pain of doing this area with the father.
Yeah, and this is why any percent is a lot easier to do, because you would just pause, jump your way up through it anyway, but Oh, and I almost fudged that one up too. No, I don't want to stay at the end. I got enough magic to beat Terran Tunes. So, yeah, around 30 magic I'm safe, but...
Yeah, Zem thankfully doesn't have to go burn a lot of magic to deal with enemies. Him and Pochi have the highest attack power of any character in the game.
Alright. Gonna grab the magic here. Alright, so we should be all set. I should have enough health to deal with this as well. And...
Oh yeah, you should be fine.
Yeah. I got enough magic, and this guy will tear through Terran Tunes, so... There we go. So that's the first crown, and as you can see, that's, I barely got any scroll luck in there, too, but, as you can see, that's, normally the first crown you can usually get pretty quickly in an 80%, but...
Well, in 80%, though, we get a completely different crown. This area, even with scroll manipulation and using Lil to just skip the block puzzles, Zem's area is still really long, just by the nature of how the area is laid out. It's just super long.
Alright, so for the second crown, I'm actually going to go to Pochi's area, and normally I would usually go Lil's area, then Pochi's, and I'm going to mess this one up. I just know it. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to go back and try it again. I clipped or I bonked into the block a little bit. But, Pochi is immune to monster damage, so that should make things a bit easier. And Pochi's level is actually really, the enemies there hit like trucks, so which is why he's perfect for it. But,
Pochi's area, if you're doing it with another character, if you don't manipulate scroll speed for it, it is really, really difficult. Like, even with scroll speed, by the time you would reach the crown, you would be sitting on, like, probably 30 to 40 life at most from all the damage you take from the enemies. Also, this manipulation is not really meant to be done by Pochi. It was set up with every other character in mind, because Pochi is realistically never really used in speedruns anymore, because his only unique attribute is the fact that he doesn't take damage from enemies. He doesn't have any special items or anything else, and there's a shortcut in Pochi's area that can only be taken if you have a way to move blocks, which Pochi can never do. So speedruns generally avoid using him, but for safety purposes, Pochi is actually a good choice here. It's just, it makes this manipulation very, very difficult.
Alright, I could do the 2 manipulation okay, but see if I can get the cross here. No, okay. So I got the 2 there. I don't know.
That cross actually is not possible to get without Lil.
Well, I just got it. But, no, so... You know, that's probably the best I'm going to be doing with Pochi on this 2 scroll, and it's still faster to try and reset things if you mess up the manipulation. But the only item I'm taking with Pochi is the magic bottle here. The reason being is I'm probably going to be rapid-firing magic here to try and get some scroll drops, and also during the boss, I got to kind of rapid-fire through magic there, because he's got such a short range. So I take the magic bottle here as a safety. So when my magic runs out, it's automatically going to refill. And we're gonna... Come on, fishies. Come on. There we go. So, this is the benefit about Pochi, is you can manipulate the enemies to jump on them, like I did with Zem earlier, but he was taking some damage, where Pochi's not going to take any damage yet. And other than that, these enemies... And I have gone through here without manipulation for Lil. And it's rather difficult. So I'm going to try and speaking of manipulation, I'm going to try and manipulate this guy to go into this hole here. Thank you. So I can jump on him to get up there. He doesn't want to cooperate all the time, but...
Yeah, this skeleton is giving me flashbacks of early any percent routes for this. Where we actually used to use Pochi at one point.
Yeah, I mean, if you're learning the run for this game, you know, Pochi's a safe way to learn the run, but it's a lot slower. And and he's probably decent marathons safe anyway, if you're not confident in yourself like me. I am not confident in my abilities for this game all the time. This is what I worried about most. I worried about this game more than Alf.
I'll be honest, even with how much I've run this, I always worry about how this run's gonna go, because there's so many little things that can go wrong with it. for any category really, that it's perfectly reasonable to be concerned about how your run's going to go when you try to do an actual run of this in front of, especially if it's just like a one-off run, a marathon run in front of a live audience. There's just, I can't stress just how many things can potentially go wrong with this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually go to the end for safety because I don't like the amount of health I have, and Erebone with Pochi is actually not exactly an easy fight. So we're gonna jump through that. I'm gonna be a little low on my gold count. I got enough for the I've got enough for the spring shoes, but I need to figure out what I'm gonna do for this.
So it should also be noted that the developers intended for this to be Pochi's area because of how much damage all the enemies do. But in case you still did it with in case you decided to do it with just like another character anyway, those mimics at the end, the treasure chests that like look like they were trying to bite Pochi, those do 100 damage. Any other character just instantly dies the moment they touch them. So how we get around that in any percent is we bring an elixir with us that revives us on death. And it allows us to basically do the area without Pochi, but the developers really did intend for that section to be done with Pochi.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm glad I took the healing. I wouldn't have had much life left after that point, but my gold count's now a little low for where I want it, but
you should be okay. You just need, you basically just need 2 gold drops after you buy the shoes so you can use an inn, which isn't too bad.
Alright, let's see if I can hit this. Too early, I think. Yeah, alright, we're just going. Yeah, hitting that one, I'm still not...
Yep, that was early.
Yeah. I'm still not... I know it has to be right over that crease in order to really go, but... So this is where Lil's area is going to diverge a bit, because we actually have to buy the spring shoes. So... we actually have to go up here first. And my sugar high is gone.
They did not put these spring shoes in a very convenient shop.
No, I mean, it's not that hard to get to, but...
It's out of the way, and there's only, like, one way in.
I probably should get that key, because I've got... Probably gonna accidentally grab a couple chests I don't want. I do get a 20... I do get a 20 key stick here, but... Fun fact, that blue cat only takes 1 shot to kill. But... This is a point where, yeah, this is the only time we're going to use Lil, and she's, especially in any percent, she's completely broken. Because her
broken in general.
Yeah, she's best character, that's for sure. Normally the intended path is to break those blocks up there and get there, but I'm going to try and manipulate this guy. Nope, get back here, Kraid. Okay. So we're using just a little damage boost with him to get up there.
Enemy's like, hey, I'm coming towards you, I'm going to attack. Yep. No, just kidding.
Yeah, and I gotta do the same thing with Roaz later, so I'm hoping they'll cooperate with me a bit. Alright, so I should be getting money drops now, so I'm gonna have to... No, that's poison. I need to... No, that's poison. Okay, I need at least one more... I need at least one more gold drop to stay at the end, because if I don't stay at the end, I need my spring shoes next. And
he can't actually get out of this section without the spring shoes.
Yeah, I need the spring shoes in order to do more. So, I usually stay at this incoming... that's poison game! That's not spring shoes. Alright, so let's grind a little bit here. That's a key, come on. That's poison game! I just need one... Come on, I just need one bag of gold. That's all. Thank you. Thank you, game.
This is the game's RNG in a nutshell.
Yep. And because my magic was running low, I was gonna get magic drops before long too, and I'm like, oh my god, this game's gonna do me in. Alright. So now we're gonna go for the last items we need in Lil's area, which are her key stick. I'm gonna try and grab more money if I can. Her key stick that she gets, which will give her 20, which should get me enough for most of the rest of the game. And the wings. And at that point, I need to get money. That's my problem right now. I forgot to do that. Alright. Yeah, I forgot. I need money is my big thing right now, because I'm not comfortable with this low level gold.
Yeah, he's likely going to need to use another inn before fighting the boss.
Yeah, I use one more inn, and I may try and conserve my magic a little bit to get more money drops, and I'm definitely going to need at least... I'm more comfortable if I can get at least 50 gold or something before main is area. Okay, I've got enough for one more inn for this one.
For a second there, I'm like, why aren't you going over and buying the Matic? Oh, wait. That's right.
I'm not. I'm getting the key stick. And I'm grabbing what gold I can, so...
I'm so used to... So with any percent, you actually come to this area first, and you come down to this section basically right off the bat. You get the wings, and then up near where you got that key stick, there's a shop that sells the Matic, which you got for free in Zem's area. And I'm so used to it just being like that it was throwing me off, making me think like, you're skipping the Matic. You need... Oh, wait.
No. Oh, come on, get over here, thank you. Alright, so... got that last scroll. I think it's the last chest scroll in the game, or in this run, if I recall. I don't believe there's one in Mayna's area.
There is not.
I didn't think so. And you think I would know, I just can't think off the top of my head right now.
There are only 3 chest scrolls in the game, and we've seen all 3 of them.
Yeah, we make sure to get those, because taquitos are good. But, yeah, in any percent, you don't see much of this area.
Older routes of any percent, you saw even less of this area, because you just skipped the entire thing and pause jumped up to the boss, and you bought the wings in Mayna's area instead.
Alright, so this is the last place I'm going to hit an inn. And I'm just going to pray that Archwinger cooperates with me today. And I'm also going to hope for a lucky scroll.
Yeah, there's a jump coming up. I'm not sure exactly how they intended for you to do this, because I have...
Cross, please. Double cross. Ah, that's poison. Alright, so no lucky scroll.
This jump coming up, I have tested it out, and it's a 2-frame window, and it is... And this scroll is only obtainable with this character, so it is mandatory that you do this jump.
Yeah, and the more times I fail, the harder this is going to be. There we go. Second try, not bad. And the thing is, even if I had a scroll, you don't want to go into Archwinger's fight with a scroll. It's going to mess up his pattern.
Worse still is that when you have a scroll, your attacks actually move faster. And in this game, damage is determined by how many... if your projectile is in an enemy's hitbox, every frame that it's in there, it's doing damage. So the faster your projectiles move, the less actual damage you do to bosses. So you actually don't want scroll speed active for bosses at all. Because it is a lot more... Because your shots spend so much less time in the boss, you end up spending a lot more magic just trying to do the same amount of damage.
Yeah, and thankfully that was a clean Archwinger fight. You can kind of manipulate his movement pattern to bonk against that block which I had up there. And when he does that, he'll basically just stop and then turn around, and when he turns around you switch to the punch knuckle and just fire away at him. Basically the easiest way to do it, but if you, like I said, if you go in there with a scroll, you're going to have a bad time. The best thing to do is if you do have scroll speed, you can pause the game. And I'm going to miss that, was fun. I bonked. Yeah. You can pause and let the scroll, because your scroll speed counter actually continues to go down even when your game is paused. So you can just pause for a little bit, let that wear out, and come back to it.
Yeah, the scroll timer runs literally at all times. Whether you're paused, whether you're in the inventory menu, if you're in the house, if you're waiting for your gold to count down when you stayed in inn, it doesn't matter. It's counting down at all times. So getting the most out of scroll speed involves trying, especially if you want to maintain it like through an inn, you have to pick one up before entering it, like right before entering it, to make sure you have enough time to get back out and then try to get another one afterwards.
Alright, I'm going to try one more. If not, I'm just going to go. I hate going without scrolls, but I'm hitting it. I don't think I'm hitting this right. Mina's a little...
if you're getting poison, you're doing it a little bit too late, I believe.
I thought it was too early. I could be wrong. You're the master at this game.
I know one is gold and one is poison, and I always forget which is early and which is late.
Yeah, I think poison's a little early because I never get gold. I've always gotten poison.
It's possible that it's the early one. I just like.
I bonked again. Whatever. We're going. No.
This is actually the one section of the game too that really isn't any different than any percent, because you never have to pause jump as Mena because you have the wings, you can fly. So this entire section is actually basically the exact same.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the going without a scroll here means it's going to be a lot slower. I might get a lucky one, and I am going to pick up what gold I can, but.
Yeah, he does need about, I believe it's 30 more gold to finish the run at this point. He needs 10 gold to use an inn about halfway through Mena's area to refill her life and her magic, and then he needs another 10 to use an inn right before the boss, and then the last 10 will go towards staying in an inn with the final character, so he can equip the last safety. So he's got most of the gold he needs, thankfully.
With any luck, I'm probably gonna fudge this up somewhere. But I also need gold for Roaz. I actually need 20 for him because he takes way too much damage in Lil's area to because I actually do need to stay at an inn while traversing through it because I can't just pause jump all the way to the portrait. I actually need to go through the area.
Clearly, that just means you have to route some more butt bread in.
I do need to route some more butt bread in, but unfortunately I don't think there's any butt bread I can grab in Lil's area where I need to go through. Yeah, this ladder climb is tedious without a scroll. Shoutouts to guest music in the game.
Had he hit the manipulations, he would have gotten a scroll off of that spider up there, and he'd be at scroll speed 4 right now.
Yeah, that's a big if.
He would be blasting through this place.
Grind a little bit of money. Alright, I should have enough money to get through her area.
Yeah, this is actually a good area to grind some money out, because there's just so many enemies packed in that one little section.
Yeah.
A boss drop in this room is amazing.
Hey, there's my lucky taquito. So yeah, go ahead.
Taquito. Yeah, the equipment he has equipped that he has right now. On the left, he has the wings, which obviously allow her to fly. The item in the middle is the crossbow, which is her block manipulation item. Zem uses the glove to push them. Lil uses the pickaxe to break them, and Mena uses the crossbow to fling them. I don't know how a crossbow does that, but we're not going to argue with that.
Video games.
Yeah, she just like shoots it, and it just flings it across. It flings it across the room, and when it hits a wall, it'll rebound back towards where you were. And you do take damage when the blocks hit you, by the way. So
yeah, she can tank them.
Yeah, for the most part. And then on the right,
of course. Thank you, game. I love you too. This game hates me. That's me.
The game being like, yup.
That's not the first time that happens. I've killed an enemy while it was in one of the wall blocks, and of course the scroll drops. One pixel was hanging out of it, and it wouldn't let me grab it. Nah, I'm gonna grab that.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, this game's actually really good, but there's a lot of even casually. It takes a long time to beat casually. And it can be frustrating casually, but the game
very easy to get lost in this game. Like, it's not even funny how easy it is to get lost. Also, here's some butt bread.
Yes, I needed that butt bread. Oh, come on, wizard, get out of my way.
But anyway, the last item that we have is on the right side is the key stick. And what that allows Mena to do is open doors. You can't do it with the chest, but she can open doors without needing any keys. Instead, she expends magic to open them.
Which is having more money.
Which is basically required in this area because there's a lot of locked doors in this section, and they basically intended for you to have the key stick to get through them, because otherwise you're going to spend a lot of time farming keys.
Yeah, and wings, thank you. So you can see a long string of doors here, and I'm losing a lot of magic, but I'm coming up on a place where I need to stay for the end anyway. And I'm probably gonna be staying at 3 inns in here. I'm doing it for safety reasons. But why am I farming magic? I'm gonna be staying at an inn. Oh my god, this is why I need more caffeine. That's what I need today.
Well, initially you were probably trying to get scroll drops, and then you ran too low on magic.
Yeah, that was my problem, and I think I wanted a little bit more money, but get in there. So I'm gonna be probably staying at 2 more inns for safety here, for Mana, and 2 for Roaz. So, and of course, what happens when I stop at the inn? I get poisoned immediately. So if I get 2 more bag drops, I should have enough money to do the rest of the game. So this is basically the choke point for the game with Mana. You actually can't cross those spikes without the wings. And this is the game telling you you absolutely need Mana in order to get through this this stage of the game. Alright, I got enough gold now, so I don't need to stop for it.
Yeah,
this is what you call gold mode.
Most of the areas have something that will require you to use a specific character. For Mana, it's these one-tile gaps with spikes below them. You need the wings to get past them. For Lil's area, you need the pickaxe in order to be able to break the last section of blocks leading to the boss, because it's just a bunch of blocks back to back. You can't push them and you can't fling them with the mother, and there's no other way to move them. Pochi's area is basically the mimic chest that does 100 damage, basically saying if you don't bring Pochi, you're probably dead, but we've found ways around that. And then Zem's area is just, there's a lot of puzzles, and there's a lot of sections where Lil can do it, even without pause jumping, as long as you have the spring shoes. It's just really difficult and a bit on the complicated side. But the one for Zem's area is technically the 13 rows of 9 blocks you have to push, because Lil has to expend a magic point to destroy a block, whereas Zem's glove uses no magic. And that area is kind of like, okay, you need to be using Zem or you're not going to have enough magic for this. But you can also just pick up a magic potion, and that does the same thing.
Oh, there's of course. Alright, well, this is why we go back for taquitos.
Oh, this is a good area to get it into.
Oh god, this is a good area to get it in. However,
because this area is like you have to kind of wind back and forth across these spikes and everything, and it's just a lot of walking. And without wow, damage.
Yeah, this is why I take the heal here as well, because I am kind of bad with this. Because those hidden blobs there like to do like 10 damage a shot, and getting double tapped in this game is very easy.
Yeah, the game when it comes to actually taking damage, the game has like a global timer, and if you're in an enemy's hitbox when it hits a certain value, you just take damage. And it's possible to like touch an enemy, and you'll take the initial damage. Like you always take damage as soon as you touch an enemy, but if that global timer comes up, like right as you're touching the enemy, you'll take a second hit like immediately.
So I'm gonna go ahead
really
and
awful when it's a high damage enemy.
I'm gonna use the key stick for the remainder of the keys and come back to this end to grab the rest of my items. I don't think I got enough keys to do this effectively, so I'm just gonna do this. Again, another safety reason.
I think you do have enough keys.
I don't remember the count on it, but I probably did, but at the same time.
I think it's 23 doors, if I remember correctly.
Could be.
I was counting these earlier to see how this would be possible without a key stick, just because I was curious. Yeah, I believe I came up with 23 doors.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any doors I need in with Roaz either, so Maybe one. No, actually, he goes through Lil's area, I think, without using the keys, without using keys at all. So I just need to at least make sure I end with 2, so I can still do the scroll manipulation.
Yeah.
So we're gonna grab the power knuckle, the elixir for safety, and the wings. Alright, and I killed this enemy here so I don't have to worry about getting hit. Oh, look, I got plenty of magic. I'm just hoping Rock Gaia doesn't really screw me up because this is a long dungeon.
Yeah, Rock Gaia is no joke in terms of the damage he does. Rock Gaia does 40 damage if he touches you and 40 damage if any of his bullets hit you. He does not mess around. So you really don't want to be getting hit by him. But that's why he has the elixir for safety reasons. Because it's not just that Rock Gaia can damage you during the fight, he can also fire bullets as he's dying. And it is possible to die after you kill Rock Gaia, and you do not win ties, by the way.
Ooh, that was...
Okay, so Rock Gaia's dead. Equip the elixir, and yup, got hit with a bullet on the way down. It's possible to get hit by more than one. I've gone from, like, 70-something life to dead in the span of, like, a couple frames, because this boss is great. But the elixir basically prevents him from being able to kill you from beyond the grave.
So now we get the final part of this. Which, without pause jump, this is a lot trickier. I've got enough gold to get through the dungeon, so we're fine on that. I'm going to try the scroll manipulation once, maybe twice total, but we're going to say...
I'm not... Okay, so the scroll manipulation that you would normally do with Roas, I don't think is possible without the power knuckle. There's certain parts of it that you have to have enough attack power to do it. I don't think anything beyond, like, the first 2 is actually doable without it.
It's, yeah, beyond the first 2, I can't do any more than that.
Yeah, I don't think that green guy will drop the cross at the same point, because when you use Lil, you bounce up into the upper screen, and that changes the RNG value. So you don't actually get the. I don't think it's possible to get that to do the same.
Can I interrupt you real quick?
Absolutely.
So we just excuse me. We just hit $10,000.
Ooh.
Be more specific, $10,020.
Oh my god. That is awesome.
Hey, you're blowing up my spot.
Well, Hex didn't say anything. So...
I was waiting for talking to stop. Yeah.
So I'll let Hex read off those donations. But thank you, everyone, for your support this year. And just to remind you all, you just saved a beard.
Thank you, Kay. We have a bunch of donations. I'll save the big one for last. We have 14 from Loot Zero. We have $4 from Scala and Maggie the Cat, both on that donation train. Choo choo. Remember, that's still going. We have $10 from Quizu, no comment, but thank you. And we have $422 from Cryan HR. Thank you so much. Team Falcom representing, naming the boy in Secret of Mana, Talon. That's gonna be hard to beat now, but not impossible.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's finish up this run.
Yes, we're almost done. I went back to the house for safety, and I'm not doing the scroll manipulation here. But I went back because if I die at the boss here, I have to go find the sword again, and I don't want to have to do that. I could do the quick kill on the final boss, but this is another one of those cases where the tie goes to the enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm doing this for safety. And I probably will stay at the last end just to refill my health. I don't think it's going to do much, but...
depends on what you get there with. If you have more than 90, you should be fine.
Yeah, but I don't anymore, because that block does 10 damage to me.
Well...
Yeah, fuck this. Sorry, pardon my language. So, we gotta equip the Dragon Slayer. For some reason, I did. Because reasons. And, yeah, of course, taking a little bit. Alright, so I'm gonna try to do the quick kill here. Alright. And we got him. Time's coming up in a sec. And there we go. So that is GG. Oh, the later manipulation did not work with me. I'm surprised I got the first one, but...
So,
Yeah.
that fight went relatively quick, but that fight is really long and drawn out if you don't go for the quick kill. The boss has a dead zone in front of it. It can't hit you there, but it will continue to walk forward and you just keep taking damage. But the actual fastest strat is to just get in that dead zone and just tank a bunch of hits while you mash as fast as you can to get as much damage on him. However, when he dies, the bones he leaves behind as a corpse have an active hitbox. So if you're still like directly underneath him, the bones fall on you and you just instantly die. And as MrStarbird said, you don't win ties in this.
No, there is a dead zone as far as the hitbox goes that I found out the other day. That you can stand a few pixels in to the left side, but don't go. You want to stay as clear away. That's why when he got down to like 4 HP, I pieced out and just tried to hit him in the head the rest of the way. So, but that is Legacy of the Wizard, non-randomizer, and this is no pause jump. Like 20 minutes slower than Dragon Dark's world record. He could have beaten this game twice by the time I had gotten done. So,
if the game was being kind.
Yeah, we know the game. I mean, we know the game isn't exactly kind at all. I mean, we saw how much it hated me. So.
Oh, it hates it. It doesn't discriminate. It hates everybody equally.
Oh, absolutely. This is a really fun game. We shouldn't discourage anybody from learning this run, because once you get the hang of where to go in this game, this is a rather fun run. It's the most annoying part to me is scroll manipulation.
That's just it's just because of how precise it is. It's so scroll manipulation in some instances is actually frame perfect, and you have to play perfectly and move perfectly in order to maintain it, and it becomes very, very difficult to maintain it for long periods. So, anybody missing a few of the scroll manipulations is not uncommon.
No, and if you in the later parts of it, if you do miss the scroll manipulation, it is actually quicker to just go back to the house, reset the RNG, and try again. Especially on Manas, where after a couple tries, I just said, just bump it and let's just move on, which is why that I probably lost at least a good minute and a half to 2 minutes just in not getting that scroll drop on hers. So that's why my time was a bit higher than I would have liked. I did give a rather high estimate for this game because dying to a boss in Manas area, if you die to Rock Eye, you saw how long that dungeon is. That's a long walk back.
Yeah, it is.
And, I did give it a 45-minute. Okay, I thought I gave it an hour estimate. I only gave it 45. Hey, I'm underestimated.
Manas area and Zem's area, if you die to the boss, it is a long walk back.
Shoutouts to Produce.
Yes, Produce is the best. Produce literally just ran out to get produce for the team when they were hungry.
Precisely. But, other than that, I think I am good at this point. What do we got coming up next? I believe it is...
It's not La Mulana.
It is not La
It's
Mulana.
It's La Place Noma by Pasama, which sounds like La Mulana.
Can we just call it? We can just